Bro, Nicks and Bruises, we are back. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black, it's time. I got the crew in the building. Eru, J Bug. What's up, fellas?
What's good? What's good?
Appreciate y'all joining.
What's up,
Um,
Mr. DC? How you doing, my brother, aka the young Richard Pryor? You know, Mr. E, that comes from Mr. Rule, and you know he do nothing but rule.
appreciate the love. Oh, shout out to Sim. Shout out to the whole MBK fam. We didn't do a post game show after the Laker game, so I'm gonna start right there. You know what I mean? 9-game winning streak ended by the Lakers. We was in there. Fourth quarter, we started with the lead. That's the second game, only the second game that we've lost the game after having a lead going into the fourth quarter. And yeah, it was definitely a fourth quarter turnaround. Right off the jump, I believe a turnover, a three, and then 5 quick points, timeout, and insert Brunson back in the game. Oh man, and yeah, they put the clamps on Brunson down the stretch. I mean, I think the number was 30 and may have been 30 plus double teams throughout that game. Um, Anthony Davis was a beast defensively. One possession with the back-to-back blocks. I think that was the defining turning point of that particular game for sure. And yeah, we just couldn't close it out down the stretch. We couldn't buy a bucket. I think it was 7 minutes. It might have been like 7 minutes that we didn't score in that fourth quarter. That might have been a long for the season, even though scoring droughts has been a thing throughout the season. But I don't remember 7 minutes ever before. So yeah, that was concerning. But all in all, the loss didn't like make me overly concerned about where we are. You know what I mean? Like the Lakers are probably one of those teams that are better than their record indicates. Obviously, two Hall of Famers. And yeah, we still on a home stretch. You know what I mean? I'm still encouraged about where we're going. Little concerned with OG. I was hoping he'd be back for that game. I think we missed his presence. But overall, man, tough. I wanted that 10 game. You know what I mean? 10 sounds better than 9 when you talk about a winning streak for sure. But time to start a new streak. But what were your thoughts on the game, Ebru? I think you did a watch along, right? I,
Yeah, I
I,
did one for that. The whole game was that 7 minutes without scoring. If we scored like a little bit, we would have won the game. It's not like during that time period the Lakers were smoking us,
mhm.
or even in defense, because I mean they were sending three guys at Brunson. He was getting three guys sent at him, and every time he passed the ball, the other player just wasn't creating it. It ended up back in Brunson's hands again. So we just thought we got to get 100% better. That's number one. That will help out a lot. But then, even though we're 100% better, we still need that extra guy because we still go through droughts, like you said. Been dealing with that all year. So we're almost there, man. We just got to be patient with our guys and stuff. We're almost there.
Yeah, one of the two things that stood out for me. Uh Josh Hart intentionally left wide open down the stretch, couldn't buy a three. I mean, he had at least four wide open threes in that fourth quarter. And to your point, Eru, had he made two of them, we win. I think.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
something like
we dominated still in that offensive rebounding down the stretch, but we were missing the second and third opportunities as well as the first. You know what I mean? Like it was at least two or three possessions in which we got second or third opportunities, two or three separate occasions that we had, you know, extra possessions and we couldn't convert. Hartenstein, I think, I mean, Ihart missed like two consecutive layups after getting the rebound and the putback. So those things were, I'm gonna say, out of the ordinary for us. So again, a lot of things. It wasn't like we got smoked. You know what I mean? Like so, I wasn't even too mad about it. It was more like, all right, on to the next one. Let's build another streak. You know what I mean? Um, J Boog, what was your thoughts on that Laker game? Did it change your mind about anything? A lot of people were talking about staying pat in the mix that 9-game winning streak, myself included. At least raising the question. Um, did this loss change anything, or what was your thoughts on that Laker game?
Nah, this loss doesn't change anything for me. I don't want to stand back. I'm going. I want to go for it. You know, the window for opportunity is wide open. It's in arm reach. You know, it's for us to go get it. So anything else that we add to this team is only going to make us more dangerous. So nah, I'm not. I'm not one of the ones that want to stand back. But them guys should have been in that locker room feeling good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? They should have been happy with themselves. You know, with a 9-game winning streak, you know, and playing against a team with two major superstars. One perhaps maybe might be the greatest basketball player of all time, you know, in some people's view, you know, and for us to go down to the wire and lose, you know what I'm saying, because we was unable to make shots, and them guys executed and made more defensive plays than shots, you know. I'm okay with what happened, even though we all would have loved to win 10 in a row. We all would have loved to beat the Lakers. A lot of things was going on. A lot of things was, you know, up in the air about that game and everything, about them coming to town and everything. But, you know, it's okay. You know, just, you know, lace up your shoes and let's get back in the gym. Let's get back to working all over again. You know what I'm saying? That's not the end of the road. That's more of a beginning. Them guys should feel like they got a lot of confidence and should be ready to go come the next game tomorrow, which we play Memphis. Should be a wash. And I'm looking for all them guys that didn't make shots, you know, in that game to feel like they some kind of way and come out there and make shots and go ahead and crush them and get them out the way immediately.
Yeah,
no doubt. I'm laughing over here while you're talking because I was remembering, you know, I was doing my due diligence for the losers lounge in the case that we won that Laker game, and you know, a lot of the comments that the Laker fans were referring to about their team, they didn't age well after they won. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them were you know, a lot of them were bashing Prince. And I think, you know, as much as he made some mistakes, I think he was a big part of why they won. I think his defense was solid down the stretch. You know, they were killing the coach, obviously. I think the only one that did age well was D'Lo, who I don't think he even played in the second half, or definitely didn't play in the fourth. His defense was bad. You know what I mean? And that was a coach's adjustment that actually, you know, panned out in their favor. But yeah, that's really
Lakers fans don't know what they're talking about. Just gotta keep it a buck. Lakers fans, Miami Heat fans, all those guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. So if they say something about their team, you got to take it with that grain of salt, man. Those guys don't know what they're talking about.
but it was just it was just funny to see how it aged within, you know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes down the stretch of that game, how it aged from one tune that they were singing, and you know, to the end. There's a couple of logical guys, you know, telling the team like, "Yo, y'all wildin'," you know what I mean? Putting up his his stats because he shot the ball well for the game as well. And they like, "Yo, you killing this dude, and he's the second leading scorer. Look at what he's shooting." You know what I mean? And his defense is solid. But it would have been a funny losers lounge, man. It was sad to not be able to pull that one away and do that one for you.
That's what you call a winning loss. You know, sometimes you can lose games, but you can win in the long run, you know. But that game for the Lakers is what you call a winning loss. Because for us not to have three starters and Grimes not on that floor, and for them to just barely nudge that game out, the fans for LA should be heated. I'd have been going off. You know what I'm saying? I got two major superstars that's in the All-Star game that's well rested, didn't play in Boston, played here, and we should at least lost that game by at least 13 points. God bless our defense. We still play defense though. But far as, you know, buckets, we couldn't get buckets, man. And for the Lakers, man, that's a terrible win. They shouldn't even be feeling good about none of that right there. You know what I'm saying? Because if our strength, boy, they know what time it was. It's 10 games. We going all the way through the number 11. But, you know, hey, things happen for a reason, and let's regroup.
Yeah, I'm with that too, man. I mean, because also too, if I was on the court, I would have been talking junk. And said, "You see that guy over there?" I would have been pointing at Julius Hill. Or if he was here, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
get ready for next time. Next time we see you guys, you got to deal with the full force. You know, That's
That's
what
right.
I would have been saying.
Because we just bust you on your floor at full force.
Yeah.
Everybody was there, and we bust. We don't care about Denzel and everybody all in there. We got mega stars too. You know what I mean? So we don't care about that. We bust you up in your building when we.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to
Oh,
see the loss too, man. You lose that one game that'll kind of get your mental back, because you think it's too good. So you get that one little loss, you get to have those conversations in the next shoot around or whatever. Everybody can regroup and get back to doing their jobs. So that's good too.
yeah. Shout out to the chat. Frank Matto says OG's out tomorrow. Craig is saying he's out 4 weeks and may need surgery. You guys heard this news? Because I have not.
Nah, not the surgery.
I can't find it or confirm it. But um yeah, that's
That's messed up. I'm trying to figure out what it was. Was it like a hyperextension or just a usage type of thing?
yeah. Even watch what you say. You can't say usage around Knicks fans about Knicks players with tips.
Yeah, Tom Thibodeau, man.
Oh man, speed recovery, man. I hope it's not surgery serious. I'll let you guys know if I find anything or if you guys find anything. Definitely share. But man, that's yeah, Ralph Real. He's asking 4 weeks from today, or 4 weeks from a week ago.
When you're dealing with inflammation to the elbows and all that, you think about baseball, Tommy John surgeries and all that. So, we can only pray for the best, and I wish I could speak more of it. I didn't catch everything because I was with my guy Worldwide L. Shout out to him and for the love of the game, and he was breaking it down, yesterday a little bit on about inflammation to the elbows and how both baseball players they kept that and wind up being Tommy John surgeries and all that. So we hope we can get through, and like they've been saying, if you're gonna be injured, this is the best time to be injured, So maybe we can get back to being healthy right after this All-Star break. But for now, we should be able to finish out these 5 games. At worst, Jim Brown 3-2, 32. At worst. And if not, we Alvin Kamara, we 4-1. So
the elbow information though, like as far as basketball, I can't see I can't see how you can have that type of information unless this has to do with something with lifting. Because I was having problems because I was trying to lift the earth the last few months ago. I was getting almost 315 on the incline. Once I started getting that, I felt like my elbow was going to dislocate. So it's good now, but as it was happening, I was getting the big time elbow inflammation. But that's due to the stress of lifting. So I don't know how you would get that type of information from basketball. So I'm just trying to figure it out.
And this is pre-existing, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe I read that somewhere.
He's injury prone though. He's been hurt a lot in Toronto. He's had a lot of knick-knack injuries throughout his career.
I mean, the one thing I will say is hopefully that is a part of the negotiation and the signing. You know what I mean? Because 40 million, you gotta be available. That gotta be one of your biggest abilities.
Yeah.
40 million anyway.
Yeah, no. I think that was overstated at 100%. I was being facetious. Where did I want to go next? I lost my train of thought. 3-point contest. No. We'll go there next after this. Rich Paul, Leon Rose had they sit down, they clear the air meeting. Even if it means nothing immediately, which we're gonna talk about and speculate on. But even if it means nothing immediately, I think just to have that meeting and get that out the way and clear the air for whatever potential client down the line, years to come, I think that was important. I think that was a good thing to do. You know what I mean? Because you don't really want to have limitations in this game, in this field, right? You want to be able to look under every rock and turn over every stone to find pieces to upgrade your team. So to have any particular entity that you can't do business with, that's bad for business. And on the flip side, we look at Toronto with the lawsuit. We speculated and thought there's no way that was gonna they were gonna be able to do business with a lawsuit, and they figured a way around that. With the lawsuit still currently going on, they still was able to put the personal part aside from the business part, which again, great signs for this front office, this organization. What's your thoughts on the meeting itself? And then we could talk about if it means anything in the immediate future with potential clients, Murray, and who's the guy in Portland?
Brogdon.
Thank you, Eru. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the meeting in general?
You want first? Me or Boog?
Boog, you could lead off.
Okay. I think it's great for the sport. You know, I think that's just life when men can get together and put to the side, talk situations out, and you know what I'm saying, and become friends and stuff like that. Always work it out. You know, um, for them to get together and talk it out. I know it was planned. Prior to this, and it was a point in time we was wondering if it was going to happen, but then for it to happen, I think we spoke about it before when I was on your show. But for them guys to get together and try to iron things out, to me that lets me know that good things is about to happen amongst them, amongst the two. Is somebody somewhere that wants to play here, and 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 for some reason Paul is in the way of it, and they got together. I guess the way I'm putting it together, I guess Paul has no choice but to sit down with him, because Paul was the first one to say, "Yo, we need to get together." I think he said that on somebody's podcast. He
Mm-hmm.
called it out, and for Rose to accept it, that was the right thing for him to do, is accept the conversation and sit down, and iron things out. But that's business. When it comes to money being involved, man, we can always put things to the side, but let's take care of this money situation,
Mm-hmm.
and handle our business. And that seems like what two grown men got together and finally iron things out and put things to the side. And so let's hope that we can do business together moving forward, and let everything work out for both sides, as well as the players. For if there's players that want to come here, and Paul is stepping up to the plate. Okay, let me go make it right for them. That's good business. And for Leon to come in and sit down and listen to it, what I'm saying, they iron out their problem. That's even greater business for him. But all that leads to the New York Knicks having we doing great things, for the organization. The organization is really it's really turned in the right direction, up under this guy Leon. And I've been promoting, get this man his money. So I mean, Leon is making his ways in all phases of the game to make sure for a fact that you can come to New York and play, and you're gonna get your money, and you're gonna get the biggest love, more than you ever received from anywhere else. So shout out to them too for sitting down.
Yeah, and I thought that could have been a rare blemish on his, on his jacket.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to clean that up, that's that's one less thing they could talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Eru?
Yeah, I agree with everything Boogie said. But you know, it just doesn't look good, man. It's not good for the league visually, and just it was almost like Democrats and Republicans at this point. The guys was talking about like the two different parties, and
Right.
it's like you got to pick sides. But I was trying to Google it, who's on this organization. But there's other agencies. You got WME. I forgot who I was trying to figure out who Julius is signed to. Julius is signed to another one of the agencies. It's not CAA or Clutch. He's signed to somebody else.
Yeah, I think it's Aaron Goodwin, right? Or
Something like that.
it's somebody. Yeah, I don't know the organization, but I know the agent.
Yeah.
It's somebody who's been a Nick client representative before, a big Nick client. I just can't remember who. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, it becomes the Democrats, Republicans, gang stuff, where, well, I'm not going to talk to my clients are not going to talk to you, and this that you just can't have that. It's bad for the game. It looks bad globally too because they say what's going on over here. So they had to make it public. Oh, we're going to have a meeting, quote unquote. These guys talk to each other. They have these conversations with each other all the time. You know what I'm saying? So just to verbally do that, it gets the fans off of that too because they're picking sides. Fans are picking
Mhm.
sides. So I'm glad they did it because now we don't have to talk about it anymore. They squashed the beef, quote unquote, and now we could just move on with free agents and stuff. Because I mean, it messes up their own pockets too. Because now if only certain free agents want to go here, look at
Mhm.
Zach Levine. Zach Levine had that surgery because he was supposed to be getting traded, whatever, but he went and had surgery. He took it upon himself to do that. Now it eliminates him off the market. So now it messes up things. So you just don't want players to do that. You don't want players to take things into their own hand, because the agents are fighting each other. You just don't want that. It's just bad for the game.
Yeah, two things. I feel like number one, it was Rich Paul's mess to clean up. You know what I mean? Like, because he was the one that came out publicly and said he doesn't want his clients or to go to the Knicks. So
Right.
once you come out publicly, even if there's a rift, that's fine. I think that's normal amongst businesses, amongst people, right? But when you go out and publicly let it be known, now I think some of your clients start to look at you funny. You know what I mean? Some of the rest of the world looks at you funny. It takes the professionalism out of it. So I think it was the fact that he came out publicly with the stance. It was on him to come out publicly with the request, or you know what I mean, to for the sit down,
Mhm.
and even if it isn't all clean and clear and on the same page, you got to clean that stuff up. I spoke about how it was bad for Leon Rose, or could be bad for Rose and the Knicks. But on the agency, on Rich Paul's side, if your client wants to go somewhere, it's your job to get him where he wants to go. You know what I mean? So for you to have a public beef with an organization, and that could potentially squash you doing your job to the fullest, you're putting your own job at risk. You know what I mean? Your own money at risk. So yeah, I think he had to clean that up. But all in all, in the immediate future, I think it does open the door for these Brogdon talks, potentially, the Murray talks. Takes on those two guys, just because those are the two most notable guys that are under clutch. I wouldn't mind either one. I wasn't very high on Brogdon originally, but knowing exactly what this team kind of needs, he definitely fits the bill. With a shooting perspective, a defense perspective, a ball handling, what I mean, playmaking, and I do think he can play alongside Brogdon, if need be. So I think he does fit. We'll start with Brogdon, and then we'll talk about Murray next. Eru, you could lead off.
Talking about Brogdon and Dejounte.
Yeah.
I like the Knicks starting lineup. I just really like this. And if everybody's healthy, Julius, you got OG with Hartenstein, Brunson, and Dante DiVincenzo. I think that's a great starting lineup. So I'm more leaning towards Brogdon now. It really depends on what's going on in the conversation. I'll switch back and forth because
Hmm.
I could talk up any situation that could help the Knicks. But I like the Brogdon situation because just based off of how we win games, we would like Deuce to be more a facilitator. We need some, or like we would like Grimes to be more aggressive. This guy Brogdon takes both of those traits. So if he has that, now you could slide Deuce and let him just be a finisher like he's been. He can shoot the three, corner three. He can play defense, and he could play that role. So it just seamlessly makes everything better. You know what I'm saying. So, but if you get Dejounte Murray, now you got to pluck Dante off, and put him on the bench, and now you got to figure something else out. You got to see if Dante's going to be able to work well. He should. He's a a veteran and stuff. He should do it, but it will change everything. The way that Dejounte plays, we're gonna have to figure it out how it works with our guys, so that there'll be a learning curve with that. But I just think with Brogdon, we'll get everything that we're asking for, and it won't be as much of a learning curve. And then also too, somebody else could take the ride also. So that I'm more leaning to that.
What you mean? Somebody else?
Like if they expand the trade, make it a 3-team
Oh,
trade or
oh, oh,
whatever
oh, okay.
shenanigans these agencies stuff have behind the scenes and stuff. We might be able to pluck another player somewhere.
So
If
So your preference is Brogdon based off of chemistry, more than, or is it in just totality? Um, because I
Well,
think you made a good point in a couple things. One, he can play. There's no question he could come off the bench. You don't got to worry about changing the starting lineup. I think he can fit next to Brunson, and if you wanted him to close the game, but because of what he brings, or Dante's not shooting well that particular night, whatever the case. Also he can play alongside Deuce. And that doesn't change. I mean, it's a fair argument, if your preference is that, but talent wise, Murray I think is superior.
yeah,
Um, if you're talking about him being an asset in the future, I know some people disagree, but I think Murray's long term value is probably stronger than Brogdon's long term value when you're talking about if you're making another deal next year, and you want to include Brogdon versus including Murray. I think Murray would be more valuable. Maybe lessens the draft capital you have to include when you're moving him. Um, so it is a tough decision either way. Go ahead,
well,
and then J Book will get your side.
the thing with that is when these guys come over, that they know what's going on. They hear the fans talking. They see everything. This is the internet age. So if the idea is to flip Dejounte Murray again later in another deal in the offseason, he's gonna know that. So that might piss him off and it might mess up the chemistry. That's a potential. So like I said, either way, both trades could work good. But I'm just more inclined to Brogdon at the moment, just because I just really like what our starting lineup is doing. And then having Brogdon coming in there. Brogdon coming off the bench in that role, I think it would fit similar to when OG came over. You made the trade
Hmm.
for OG, he just filled right into a spot that we needed, perfect. And I think Brogdon will come in and he will just be right in that spot, perfect. We won't have to go through so much changes.
J Book, what's your thoughts on those two guys?
I like Brogdon's game. I like this game. I always like this game. He remind me so much of the second coming of Andre Miller and all that. I like Brogdon's game. But the problem I have with Brogdon is his last 6 games. I look at his numbers he's put up, good numbers, and then look at the numbers he put up when he came here. He showed no interest in his body language that he really wanted to be here. And I think I don't spoke that with you before. He showed no interest in that game that I want to be here and perform. If you want to be somewhere, you want to go there and light that building up. I think he had 2 points, something like 1 for 5, 1 rebound, no assist, no nothing.
Yeah.
Bad haircut, all that.
Some
So
some
yes,
would say he was playing for us already.
yeah, but he's playing for us by not doing
That's what I
nothing.
mean.
So that's the only thing I got. I look at a guy's body language, how you looking up on a layup line when you come to the guy. I look at all that. You know what I'm saying? And when he came here, I was really, really interested in seeing what his body language was. It going to set a tone? Like when DeRozan came here, he set a tone and let it be known. I'll bust somebody up in here. I want to do something. And then after the game, you see him hugging with Brunson, and whispering, team, go get me and all. He wanted to be here. You know what I mean? So I got none of that feeling from Brogdon, but that's not to say he can't come and change and help us out.
Hmm.
I'm not definitely saying that. But when it comes to Dejounte Murray, I think about the 23 points he was averaging in the playoffs against Boston. I think about when he was asking Kawhi, how do I get on the floor with Pop? And he said, you want to get on the floor with Pop? You know what I'm saying? You get on the floor by playing defense. He will play defense. The defense he's playing might be a little bit slackish because he ain't got no defensive type guys over there that really want to play defense. But if he's over here, he's going to want to pick his defense up even extra more, just like everybody picked him up around, OG. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to want to, fit all the way in. And then this is his second year in that contract he got. He had 3 more years left on it, and it can offset Brunson. My thing is, I don't want Brunson to get run down trying to maintain his lead until everybody get back. and then when everybody get back, he's tore up. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm looking for a move to be made. Somebody can give him a major blow, a major breather, rest his body, because after that Laker game, if it had been early in the season, we had one of them back-to-back games, and he came off that. Oh man, he might have been tore up. He might have been tore up playing Sunday. You know what I mean? That's how much wear and tear he put on his body. And
Mhm.
Brunson, when Brunson puts in a lot of work to get a bucket. It's step throughs. Or
Yeah.
he got like 4, 5 moves before he the bucket. That's a lot of wear and tear throughout the course of a whole entire game.
Mhm.
But like you said earlier, having Dejounte, it can also lead for something like you want the big fish, and you want somebody like Devin Booker. You're gonna have to have a leading trade. You can't lead that trade talking about Grimes and draft picks and all
Mhm.
that. You got to have somebody that can lead that trade. Will be like, okay, I can work with this guy. He averages 18, 6 and 6. And he's young. He got what 2.5 years left on his contract and draft picks. I can work with that. But I like DeJounte's game. I mean, I really do, and it offsets. It offsets from Brunson, and Brunson can play with the ball, without the ball, and DeJounte's showing that he can play with the ball, without the ball. But would you have that guy come back in the game with the second unit, and
Yeah.
the DeJounte running while Brunson is work, you feel a whole lot more comfortable. You know what I mean? And the same thing you would hope you would get from Brogdon. I just got to get over the hump of hoping that he wants to play here. But
Yeah.
we need to do something. We need to get another ball handler that can go get a bucket. And I ain't talking about McDowell's. This ain't coming. Take the mop bucket and get a bucket. So
So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, we need the golden arches. We don't need the golden arcs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Please.
You know, there's another guy that came to the Garden that stunk it up. This guy Jordan Clarkson. He's
Clarkson,
part of the mix too. He stunk it up too, just like Brogdon did. So
Mhm.
yeah, so
um,
maybe it might be the defense, and this defense is so crazy that we just you're making guys forget how to play.
And,
so
and and people and people,
Brogdon's on the record, real quick. Brogdon's on the record of saying he prefers to stay in Portland,
Mhm.
and he likes his role here as the mentor and what he's able to do. Um, I don't know if that was a direct uh from a direct question about the Knicks or how that was pried out of him, but if that's his stance, knowing that the teams that are going to reach out for you, not just the Knicks, but the teams in general that are going to reach out for you are basically playoff to contenders. You know what I mean? Like 6 seed or better. Those are the teams that are looking to request your services. So if you're gonna come and take a stance that you prefer to be in Portland, that says a lot to me as well. My bad to cut you off, Jay Boogie. What were you saying?
now you good. I was just gonna say, guys that play for these teams, they hear the rumblings. They walking through their facilities, and guys come up to and get coaching staffs, assistant coaches, be like, yo, they talking about, how you feel about, New York. You know what I'm saying? And guys get an idea of what can happen, what may not happen, and trust around the league. Guys will lay down if they get ready to play that team. I don't want no parts of them. They do that. I don't know why, but right now for our organization, I mean, we up right now. I was just looking at TV earlier today on the bet line that comes on at 6 o'clock, and they were saying right now we got the third winning percentage in the East to win it all. So with that there, I mean, they got us over Cleveland, Philly. Only one they got is Milwaukee and Boston that's in front of us. So that right there, my antennas goes up. It's telling me another move is getting ready to come. Something is getting ready. They get ready to do something. And I believe in Leon. Make it happen, Leon. Handle your business, Leon.
We're gonna transition from here at just a couple of points. Brogdon, Eru. We'll start because Jay Boog already referenced it. The injury concerns, and shout out to the chat and Shop Powers who also mentioned it. Brogdon's injury history. Any concern with that? And then my question for both of you would be: if it's a long-term thing, and when I say long-term, if it's the duration of either of their contracts, keeping these guys, not using them in the next move, who would you be more comfortable with?
This is still between Brogdon and Dejounte, right?
Yes.
Well, individually is Dejounte all day, as far as the talent and all that stuff. But the injury, Brogdon does have weird injuries, man. He had like some weird hip or something injury, I remember, because
Mhm.
he used to fill up the fantasy stat sheets, man. But then he wouldn't play half the season. You got him in your injury reserve, waiting for him to come back. So he's one of those guys, man. But that's why he ended up on the bench, because it's better for him to come off the bench rather than to rely on somebody like him to run your team. He also was on a 60-win Bucks team too as a starter. So he has experience. So he does have experience. But just head to head, it's not. Dejounte Murray's the man between the two of them right now.
No doubt. Parrish Duggar does make a great point. He's a pro. He said he won six man of the year. That was last year, right? And in Boston, and I don't know how factual that he hated it in Boston, but being who he is, I could understand and believe that he hated it in Boston.
Well, he had interviews where he was like he just want to be a winner. You could look that up too. He just was talking about him being a winner and stuff like that. He's glad that he's in that situation, you know, and a winning situation again. Blah 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 blah. But the guy can't stay healthy. So it is what it is. That's why the guys like that get traded all the time. That's the reason. Something's inconsistent about him.
And again, Parrish Duggar, shout out. He says Brunson isn't the more than DiVincenzo. So what's next? I mean, it's not Brunson's decision; it's Tibbs' decision. But I feel what you're saying. He got his guy there. The fact that Archie got a job, you might be on to something. Oh, and then Jay Boog made a good point about playing for the Garden, and Clarkson didn't show up, and Brogdon didn't show up. One guy who did show up, or at least potentially tried to show his ass, was Colin Sexton, who you know what I mean, got up in Brunson's face, tried to stir some stuff up. He's been rumored to be having interest, or the Knicks having interest in him, along with Kelly Olynyk. If what are your thoughts on those two guys together or separately or individually?
With your book first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with both of them coming together. You know what I'm saying? Buckwheat and alfalfa. Come on, be a little rascals. Let's go, man. I'm with that. And it answers two. We really need three situations going on. We need another backup big. You know what I'm saying? A point guard and something. We need something. We really need three pieces to be solid. But them two guys, if we can somehow go get them two guys and bring them over here together, you know what I'm saying? I would love that situation, because that gives us a punch off the bench, and it gives you Sexton. He's one of them guys that you don't like playing against, but you love to have him on your team. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he ran up against a full-blood pit bull, and when he was a brindle, he's a brindle pit. You know what I'm saying? So you know what happened with that. But I would love to take them to if I had to use, Buckwheat by himself, I can deal with that, because I know he's gonna bring that heart, that grit. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a slight undertouch of IQ, but he's going to be a crowd favorite, a fan favorite, because he's going to play with the crowd motions, tensions. He's going to play with all that. He's going to get everybody amped up. He's going to play full court. It's just that, far as the shot, that three IQ is a little bit more deadlier than him on that 3-point shot. As far as all the other tangibles, you know what I'm saying? I can deal with him. But if I can get both of them, and depending on what I'm giving up, I can deal with that for real. And, so whoever, brought that up, I can deal with that.
Yeah, I feel the same exact way. You know, one thing about Kellen Olynyk, look at the end of his name is NYK. So he's like
And
born to be a
yeah,
Nick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
say
I, li-
less.
yeah, I like the
oh,
feels with that. You know.
two things. Shout out to that because I definitely peeped that the other day when I was looking at his name. Like, oh, we're gonna have fun with that. And then as far as who came up with that, I gotta credit DJ Shuttle. So shout out to Shuttle, all the boy. You know what I mean? He's been texting me that for a couple of weeks now, for sure. Um, shout out to Shuttle for that one
No
for sure.
doubt, man.
Um, so you like them both as collective or individually?
Yeah, collectively, I would like to get them both. You know, for any trade like Brogdon. You know, I was saying that like sneak a guy in. You know, with him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even Dejounte, if we could sneak one of their small forwards, like we were talking about Adrian Griffin Jr.
Mm-hmm.
You know, slide if we could sneak him in too, that would be great too. If you know that's ideal. Because right now we got a big window. We keep talking about it. You know, we're like third best in the East right now, kind of, sort of. You know, Philly, this guy Embiid might not come back. So if we got it, like last year we had a chance too, but you guys got hurt. So this year it's the same thing. The East is not the East is strong, but they're the Bucks have been losing to everybody. You know, like I said, Philly is going down. So there's a little opportunity for the Knicks to catch some steam, or just get into the finals like just like Miami did. Miami was supposed to be in the finals, so the Knicks could do the same thing. So why not? So the Knicks have a very unique opportunity because we didn't extend Julius or Brunson yet. So right now we have a really good chance to go to the finals with a stacked roster all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Cheating almost. And so I want to go for it, man. No matter who we can get.
No doubt. Shout out to
That's
East Blue Drew. He said, "I'm awake. I swear, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow." And Alex Burks is back on the team. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't be mad at that because I know he'll fit the role and he'll take whatever role it is that is given to him. One thing I do have to worry about whatever trade we make, if we make a trade, um, the rotation and the minutes. You know what I mean? Like we got to have guys that are willing to buy in, and when I say buy in, I mean sacrifice, because Tibbs is quick to go to 8. You know what I mean? He might go to 7 in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like people got to know you might not play, but we need you to be ready when we need you to play. You know what I mean? And that sacrifice is not an easy thing to ask any NBA player. You know what I mean? Unless they, you know what I mean, they know that from the jump. J Boy, I'm gonna let you lead this one. I want to just transition to, because I brought all that up to say one of the guys who did show, not just show, but I won't even say show because he didn't really have a great performance, but he spoke about being a Tibbs player and potentially playing for Tibbs and doing whatever Tibbs needs him to do, and that was Bruce Brown in Toronto, currently in Toronto. He's another guy that I think will buy in, role, whatever you point guard, power forward, center. You know what I mean? Like whatever you ask this man to do throughout his career, throughout different teams, he has done that. He has sacrificed. My only concern, and it's not necessarily fit from a Tibbs type player point of view. It's just like the repetition of him and Josh Hart, because I think they are two in the same. He might be a better shooter than Josh Hart, so that's a plus. You know what I mean, but not by much. What's your thoughts on this guy? And I know Boogie, you was about to say something prior to, so if you remember, you go ahead and take the floor right now.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and jump straight into what you talk about. Bruce Brown. It sounds to me like he's trying to get back to the city. Like he met somebody when he was playing over there with the Nets, and he's trying to get back close to her by any means. He come over here and do whatever Tommy T say and everything. I like Bruins game. I like Bruce Brown's game. I really do. But I like his game. I like that. I like him coming over here if Josh Hart was the starter.
Okay.
If Josh Hart was a starter on this team, and then you're trying to mimic Josh Hart, then you're getting the perfect guy that goes right along. They play pretty much all similar ways. Besides Bruce probably shoot a little bit better than Josh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But far as, rebounding, pushing the rock, going coast to coast, going all out, diving on them, gonna give you that hard work. They both the same guys. So with Bruce, he's not one of the ones that's really up on my list of going to get guys. But if he comes over here, I believe in Tommy T. He's gonna make it work and figure it out. Just like a lot of people was down on Precious at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but now, you know, he found his role that he can be effective in, and Tom is using him for that role. So I'm quite sure Tom can do the same thing with Bruce. Any it more championship experience and more better basketball players coming
IQ.
with the IQ and all that. That's going to help, far as with the team. It's just that he's not one of the ones that's up on my top list. But if he was to wind up being over here on this team, I'm going to be cheering and rooting and let him, let's go. Do you handle your business? Do what you know what you do. You know what I'm saying? But how much more would that affect, with is he's one of them guys that you can plug in and let him just run the second offense, whereas you can perhaps allow Deuce
Play
to
off ball.
his strength is catching and shooting. He's shooting above 40% from that trade line on catching and shooting. His just problem is off the dribble, off the bounce. Now slashing, he okay with that, but off the bounce, off the dribble doing things and that full court pressure. Deuce really doesn't like all that. He scares me with that. So is Brown really the guy that can put Deuce to the side and Josh on the other side? And we got them three. I know all three of them gonna play some lockdown Dito.
Yeah.
I know that.
So you might have answered the question, but you can answer it if you feel you didn't, and then Ebro, you can answer. Do you think Bruce Brown's ball handling is good enough to be the primary ball handler in the second unit?
Well, he did it in New Jersey.
I know. I'm just
where they at Nets. He did it for them. Primary second ball handler. He did it for them. When Kyrie was out, remember Kyrie was out.
Yeah.
James was out.
He played
Yes.
center. He played center for them too.
Yeah, he do it all. He do it all. Yeah.
So if you believe that, why don't you believe? And then Eru, do you believe he could play alongside Josh Hart? Because if you think he could be the ball handler, the primary ball handler, he should be able to play alongside Josh Hart in that second unit I'm referring to.
Thanks, Boogie, right?
Say that again.
Go ahead.
Back to Boogie.
Go ahead, Eru, if you want to rock.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I just wanted you to finish what you were saying there. But we both think about it the same way. It's more for me. It's more like whoever's gonna work that backcourt with Deuce. I think that's what Boogie was saying too. It's just that Deuce can't run. He can't facilitate offense at all. So like if we was to get Bruce Brown, now we got Josh Hart and Bruce Brown on the team, but then Deuce is the ball handler, off the bench, and that doesn't work. We got to get the ball out of Deuce's hands, in my opinion. So we really need to get if we was to get a guard like that, like it would be nice to get like a dude that can ball handle. Like you said too, Bruce Brown could do it all, man. Like if you give Bruce Brown a job, he's gonna do it. Like he did it in Denver, man. That dude, like somebody said in the chat, they don't win a championship without Bruce Brown because Bruce Brown was doing everything. He was starting for them. He was running point. He was doing everything. So that's the type of guy that he is. I thought he was excellent in Brooklyn. I don't understand why Brooklyn let him go. Brooklyn, I'm telling you, like if I was a Brooklyn Nets fan, like I would be losing my hair. I mean, I already did lose my hair. Just saying that they have so much talent over there. Right now, they got Cam Thomas and all these guys, and they're mismanaging that whole crew they have over there. So that's what's going on with the Nets. But with the Knicks, Bruce Brown would be dope, man, if we was to get him. But like I said, I just think it just gives Deuce too much responsibility. And I just, I don't know. It could
Oh,
work.
so
But,
you think Deuce would still be the primary ball handler in this second unit?
yeah, I think it would just still end up being that way. But a guy like I said, a guy like Bruce Brown, if you give him that role, he'll take on that responsibility, and we'll be fine with that. You know what I'm saying. So I guess we just have to see what will happen with that.
Yeah, in other words, like you know, Bruce is more of a guy that can go through the offense,
Yeah,
but we need somebody that can run the offense.
And that's what. So you guys don't think Bruce can? Because that's my concern. If he was playing Josh Hart's role, he'd be better suited. I agree. But if we traded for him, I think his role would be primary ball handler in that second unit. And I'm not sold that he you know what I mean, he's best suited for that. I
yeah,
think he can do it. You know what I mean? Like Ebro was saying, you give him a job, he's gonna do the job. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Similar to Alec Burke. I don't think he's a point guard, but if you want to bring him into, I mean, you already know Tibbs put him in as the starting point, so
right.
he ain't got no issue putting him as the lead ball handler in
but
the second unit.
that's a big problem though, because we was gonna rely on Josh Hart to be the primary power forward coming off the bench, and he also was a starting power forward on the USA team. Like, I mean, the guy, he could rebound, yes, but he's not a power forward just because he can rebound. He's
Hmm.
really a shooting guard that could play some small forward, and he's like really good rebounder for those positions. But he can't be playing out of position just because he can rebound. That's not right. Like Bruce Brown could facilitate, but he's not. That's not his main. That's not the bread and butter of his game. You cannot take away the guy's bread and butter and force him to do something else. And then, like in the thing with Alec Burks, when he was the point guard for the Knicks, people were mad at him about the decision, but he's not a point guard. So
Exactly.
they force him to be something that he's not, and then you're gonna be pissed off because he's not doing it at a high level. So that's no good.
Yeah, I always gave him credit for doing the job, like you said about Bruce Brown.
Right.
Tibbs gave him a job and he did the job. You know what I mean? It took away from who he was when he was playing in the second unit and closing games at the two. You know what I mean? Like at that point, like that's when he was at his best.
Yeah.
But he had to assume the job. Um,
Just need somebody else that can just run the offense direct. You know what I'm saying? Point people out when you're in the wrong spot. Get them where they need to be. Let them know what they're doing wrong. More than anything. Just because, like for example, just because you got nice handles don't mean you can run a team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you ain't got the nicest handle, a lot of them guys can run a team. So that's what we want more than anything. Somebody that can come through, run the team, and make sure that we get good shots, and not turn the ball over. The longest he can do that, the more time that, our guy can have on the bench, you know what I'm saying, resting and regroup. Because Brunson should be going out with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter and coming back with 7 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Where he should be at. He should not have to been playing that whole third quarter and then go sit down at the end of the third and then come immediately back. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to get away from, and we have to go get somebody that can fill that role. And Leon has been doing great for us, plugging in what we need and what's needed instead of what we want. Like before the season start, we always on board. We got to get a 3-and-D athletic guy. We got to get that. He didn't go get just one. He went and got two. You know what I'm saying? Even though um 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 Precious, I like to call him Pac-Man. P-A-C, Precious, P-A-C. I call him Pac-Man. But even though he can't shoot the ball and he's not really finishing, like, bunny shots and stuff, that man is on point.
it's all
That
work.
when him and OG is out there together playing D, oh man, that was looking crazy, and you seen what he did in the fourth quarter against Pascal. You know what I'm saying? That guy, a young Taj Gibson. That's how Taj was. He couldn't shoot that block when he just came in. So I'm thinking maybe that's why they brought Taj back to get him, because he ain't playing him. He's working with that guy probably. So, we just need Leon to continue on plugging in what's needed for the team. That's why all his trades and everything is looking good. Okay, you got Devo. In case Grimes wasn't working out, okay, it wasn't working out. Here come Devo, slide him in. Devo been working out. We needed a, you know what I'm saying, a three. He went and got a three. Even though someone was upset about the trade, some of us wasn't upset. But when we start winning them games and the ball start moving a little better, everybody pretty much forgot about the RJ. Now you must solidify that trade by bringing in IQ and solidify IQ spot. That's what you got to do, and then we'll be right on.
I want you guys to just think about if there's anybody we didn't discuss in this trade market talk real quick that you want to discuss real quick, and while you do that, I want to Kevin Bergen, he says to Uncle Fulio, what did I tell you that the game against the Lakers? I'm blaming you when you predicted a win. And it just made me think of you, Eru, with your watching the game with your sister, and I wanted to congratulate you because you got the win on the game that you watched with your sister. You said,
yeah, we have yet to see a game the Knicks won with me and her together. We haven't done that since we've been watching games together. We have never seen the Knicks win together, so that was pretty cool.
So yes, congratulations on that breaking that trend, that curse. You know what I mean? Did y'all watch the Laker game together?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the night that we because I didn't do any.
You
podcasts
didn't.
that night.
Oh, I thought it was the game before.
No, it was the Lakers game.
Oh,
I told you.
so you still ain't win. Oh yeah, my bad. Yo,
The Lakers game is the game that we saw. No, not the Lakers game. It was the Pacers game. I'm sorry.
Okay,
game.
so you broke the curse.
Right.
All right, yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So did y'all watch the Lakers game together?
No, we didn't.
All right. See, so now you got to watch every game with her.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's why we lost.
Where you break the curse, you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta keep the new trend going.
Yeah, keep it.
So hopefully we don't lose the next game. If we lose the next game, then I have to get it on the horn every single game. Man.
Oh man. But yeah, any other players that we didn't discuss just now that you think is a real option or you know think that we should discuss or consider?
I still take DeRozan and Caruso on this team right now because with DeRozan, if OG comes back, you know, and he's able, and Julius is still now. I got a 3, and I can just slide OG to the 4. But Caruso at that backup, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. Caruso, man. I could deal with that right there, you know. But
that would be crazy, man. Caruso in the backcourt. The defense. Yeah. I mean, how are they going to get the ball up the court, man? We're gonna be locking these guys up from the start of the game.
Does Caruso play? Does Caruso knock Grimes out? I mean, McBride out the rotation, or do they play alongside each other? I know he's 6'5", so he can. But what do you think happens there?
I think they play together because you know this guy Caruso he would be the primary ball handler. He would be the point guard, and they just could play off of him.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Grimes is going to be in that trade.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Caruso, Josh, and Deuce. You know what I'm saying? Full court pressuring. That's me.
Man. If DeRozan comes along too with that, man, DeRozan could score. So those 7-minute droughts, we ain't getting those with Mr. Foul line jump shot every 5 seconds, man. He's definitely, will still be able to score a little bit.
Tough love, salute. He says they want too much for Alex, and I did hear that they wanted 2 firsts for Alex, which is absurd. But if you were doing the combination with DeRozan and it still costs the 2 firsts, does that change anything for you?
Well, shout out to Tough Love. Me and him be chatting on Instagram. He sent me a post where they said they wanted a deal similar to OG. Well, OG got. So they want 2 young players and draft picks and all this other stuff, man. These NBA players, these NBA teams are crazy, man. They don't know what they're doing, to tell you the truth. You know.
Well, that's either or, because we didn't give up draft picks for OG, so they got 2 young players. So not going to give up. We're not going to give up both of them. Leon is not. He's not going to do that. If you're going to get draft picks, you're not getting ready to get nothing off the bench. If you want something off the bench, you know what I'm saying. Depending on what you're getting off the bench, I might think about give you a draft pick. I might, but if you piss me off, it's going to be a second round pick. Play
But
your poker, Leon. Play your poker.
yeah. But this guy Caruso, it's not like he ever averaged 10 points a game. He's averaging 10 points a game this year, but they're losing. But throughout his career, he's never averaged 10 points per game. He never averaged more than 28 minutes per game. Most of for his career, he's averaging 21 point something minutes per game. So he's not OG. He's not on the same level. OG's averaged up to I think 17 or whatever. He's averaged double figures his whole career just about. Once he started playing minutes and stuff. So Caruso's not on that level. So why would we give up that much for Caruso alone? Caruso's, he's like not a throw-in, but he's just not on that level type of player.
Well, that's why I asked if it was the combination of him with DeRozan. I don't even know if we can do that because of the money or whatever the
Right.
case. But if that was the case, and it cost the 2 picks, would that change your thinking because of the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you could kind of say, oh, maybe it's 1 pick for each of them. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever the case, or you just think
They got to
too
throw
much.
Andre Drummond in the mix too, man. I'm greedy. They got to start throwing some other players.
Okay.
Because I don't really care about the draft picks too much because the Knicks are kind of like in win now mode with the moment. But I don't want to give away like future picks, like say like 2027 picks. And when you start doing that, now you're getting crazy. Right now, the Knicks got a lot of first round picks, in the next 2 drafts. So we're not drafting everybody. So we can afford to give away 2 or so if the trade is right. You know what I'm saying?
Travi Rice said the Bulls could kick rocks.
Hey, shout out to the chat, man. Y'all can do us a blessing favors, man. We got a lot of people watching, a lot of people commenting. And we just ask, man, hit the like button, please. Certify that like button. That's what certifies the show. That's what keeps the tube, you know what I'm saying, being honest, hit the like buttons. Highly appreciate that.
Shout out to Trav too, because Trav does the theme song for my podcast, man. So he's battling Jake Boogie is who's gonna make the best intros, man.
I'm not battling Trav. Matter of fact, I got something for Trav. I got something. I just ain't get it over there to him. I'm just waiting to hear what they're gonna say on their half. I got something for him already. I've been waiting, trying to figure out what can I send the Trav, which it doesn't make a difference what you send to Trav. That guy is just that nice. He's witty with his wordplay and his I really rocks with Trav, and I got something that I'm going to send over there to him. I just was trying to wait and see what they're going to do, and I think he would really like that right there. But yeah, with Trav and Jay Boogie get ready to do something. I don't like to do something with some of these other guys, I'm trying to get, Tony Crow got the Tony Crow, he got that thing in the closet. He don't want to come back outside, but he always talking about, I'm outside. When you coming outside, man?
Hey, them days is over.
Yeah, I can't remember what I did yesterday, man. So I can't remember no rhymes anymore, man. So I'm out the game a little bit.
Oh man. Let's transition to that 3-point contest. Last 2 topics really. Brunson's in the 3-point contest. How did y'all hear about it? One, and how y'all feeling about it? I heard some people complaining and saying, they concerns about him doing too much and not getting no rest, or in regular season games, and now he's doing the All-Star, the 3-point. But I say let that man live. You know what I mean? Hopefully he win it. You know what I mean? Because then you got something to come home with, and an accomplishment. With the trophy. I mean, it's still an accomplishment to make it, to be there. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that? And me personally, I feel like I would prefer DiVincenzo. But go ahead. But that's, that's a whole nother topic. What's your thoughts on Brunson in the 3-point contest? Can he win it?
I think he could, man, but he's more of like a he kind of like shoots off, like that kind of. So I don't know if he'll be able to do that because it's just a little bit of strain on the arm to get that many shots up like that. So I don't know. Usually the guys that flick it over the top of the head, usually those are the guys that win. So that's why I think DiVincenzo would like you said would have been a better choices for the Knicks and stuff. Because I'm trying to find the 3-point percentages. Jalen shooting 41% right now. I'm looking at the wrong season. Well, anyway, I just think DiVincenzo will be a better thing, yeah. Because same thing like you said, Brunson. I would like him to get less usage, man. Because I mean, he's like doing too much. So I would like for the All Star break from he play an All Star game, have fun, but all the other stuff, would like him to take it easy a little bit, you know.
Yeah, J Book.
I would definitely love for Devo to be shooting in that 3-point contest. I think that fits him. He's been knocking down the shots. But business wise, I need Brunson in everything where he can conversation with any and everybody at every time on that floor. And that gives him another conversation with somebody. Yo, listen, the way you shooting that thing, yo, can you imagine me giving you that in the garden, man? I need Brunson to be working this all-star and
I
take
feel you.
advantage of this right here. You did not take advantage of the Olympics. I need you to take advantage of the position that you're in now. And I never want him not to be in it because when it's your time, take advantage of your time. You never know if you're going to ever get the same time in a spotlight or whatever it is. They go for anything in life. You know what I'm saying? When this is your moment and your time, please go ahead and take advantage of it. And this is Brunson's moment, his time. This is our second story behind, Mitch bringing over his own coach to the crib. This is we have the best story going on for the Chiefs. And what would end it all up to be the greatest story? You already know what it would be. You know what I'm saying? It'd be that dance, that parade down on Broadway. What would it be? Man. But yeah, man, he deserves, he's everything that he's getting right now, he need to be in it. So go ahead and shoot that trade. We already know, on one side, his favorite shooting side, the rack is gonna be on the left side. So that's a advantage that he got. He get and then when he run around the front, he's still on that left. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and win it, bring it back to the crib, do what you got to do, man. Just don't send Sims to the dunk contest.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. That's a good point there. Him being out there schmoozing with the guys, that's the best thing right there. For him to be there, absolutely.
And because one of the debates I've been having when I get on Knicks fans for not getting Brunson in as a starter, some of the argument is that we voted, but outside of Knicks fans, he don't get the votes or the recognition, and you know what I mean. So these looks give him the views from the outside community of non-Knicks fans, just basketball fans or just the casual fans who kind of make that all-star starters popularity contest. You know what I mean? So any popularity he can get outside of the Knicks fan base might get him into a starter all-star position in the future. You know what I mean? But he's not flashy. You know what I mean? He ain't dunking over nobody. And those are the guys that transcend the sport and then become popular, whether they're the best guys or deserving of the all-star starter or not. So yeah, any recognition definitely will help. Let me
China
just,
too, man. You got to get China's eyes on him. All you need is the China's fan base to get you in there. They'll vote for you forever, man. Derrick Rose and those guys.
yeah. Immortalized.
Yeah.
Next John 100 GM. He's been on Herb Jones for about 2 weeks now. Like, the next guy. I don't think Herb Jones is available, bro. Like, I think he's another guy who would be a perfect fit. Looks like a Tibbs guy. Got it out the mud. You know what I mean? Like didn't really made his own name basically. You know what I mean? Just off of his work ethic and his performance. I think he does fit, but I don't think he's available at all. And oh, hold on. Let me
Ooh la la.
Jack City, appreciate the super chat. A Knicks fan just entered the chat. Salute. We all Knicks fans here, baby. And what a time to be a Knicks fan. But appreciate that. The super chat. Last topic before we get a little break. Queen's Court is at 8:30. You know what I mean? So the roommate podcast. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart jumping in the podcast field. I love it. Obviously, I love their chemistry. I love how they answer questions in the media space when asked about each other, or always taking little digs and shots, friendly shots, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? That relationship is true brotherhood, you know what I mean? That's true friendship that can't be replicated or duplicated or faked. So I'm definitely excited and interested to see, you know, what they bring us. I mean, I'm gonna take whatever it is and enjoy it, but I hope it's not short. I hope it's not like, you know, I enjoyed the Mitchell Robinson show. You know what I mean? My only knock against it was I wish it was longer. You know what I mean? Because it was so entertaining. I hope it's not a short. You know what I mean? I hope they actually. Well, then again, focus on ball. So,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean. I take that back. I take back everything I said. I hope it is short. And salute to them. Congratulations. Oh, what's your guys' thoughts on them entering the podcast field and the dynamic of what they're gonna bring? Anything you anticipate from them? And before that, let me just shout out Parrish Duggar. Appreciate the super chat. Knicks fan base are old folks. We don't vote online. That was my perspective. Like that was my perspective because even before this year, before last year, I wasn't even voting like that. You know what I mean? Or if I was, it was once a, you know what I mean, maybe once a week. You know what I mean? Not daily. And then even when I brought it up, you know, certain people was like, "Oh, you can vote every day," because they was like, "Oh, I voted already." No, you got to vote every day. You got to make that the same way you wake up. Some of us, you know what I mean, wake up and check your phone. Just check your phone and go right to the whole start voting. This is moving forward. You know what I mean? So I do think we dropped the ball. If we could invade opponents' arenas, then we could get our guys voted into the All-Star. You know what I mean? Like if we could make Charlotte sound like an MSG game, there's no reason we can't get our guys as starters in the All-Star, or at least top, you know what I mean, top 2, top 3 in voting.
What's New Yorker's favorite phrase? Get the F out, get the F out of here. You know what I'm saying? I got to sign up for another thing. I got to put my password in the computer again. Get the F out of here. So I got to vote again. I voted already 2 times already. I got to vote. Come in and vote 10 more times. So that's New Yorker's energy right away. So there it is right there.
I
But
agree.
as far as the podcast stuff concerned, man, they're gonna bring a different tone. So I'm hoping that they bring something new to the table, and I hope that it's like, because I'm gonna throw it out there. That Mellow podcast is, I don't like it at all, man. Like it's good to hear Mellow talking about basketball, but it's not Mellow's pod. It's Mellow and Merrill doing the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, so they don't have good chemistry between each other, I think. So it's just like, Merrill in between Mellow giving real facts. So I don't think they really bounce off each other too good. So that's what's beautiful about these podcasts, is that like they get a group together and it's really their boys, Like the what do you call it? The Paul George podcast works because he got his like 2 guys with him, so it works really good. The other one too, the Jeff Teague podcast is hilarious,
Yes,
because they
yes.
give it up a certain way. So you got to give it up a certain way. So I mean, if they come through with their style of humor, because it seems like they got like the odd couple thing going. If they got that going, then people are gonna watch. It's gonna be fun to see. But I'm interested in seeing what topics they go through and stuff. If it's something that's gonna be sustainable, because it could be a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, a lot of content too.
Yeah.
um, speaking of the real before I let you speak, J Boogie, the Mellow Murrow podcast. Were you a fan of Murrow prior to? Because I feel like I feel like if you weren't, then that podcast probably is trash. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But if you were a fan of Mero, then I think this is just like, all right, he's back out there. Oh, he got mellow, nice. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel what you're saying. Like from outside that demographic, or if you go into it for mellow, you're probably looking at it like, who's this dude? Who's this
yeah.
dude?
Yeah, that's the
Who's this
issue
dude with mellow?
because Merrill's he's had his experience already. They did the podcast together. Then he was actually on what was it, Showtime or whatever they were on, whatever network they were on. They were on him and his guy Jesus. They just
Yeah,
had that
yep.
crazy chemistry together. The Bronx stuff. That's another thing too.
But
Merrill
that
was from
was
the Bronx.
years.
Why would you call
Yeah,
it 7 p.m. in Brooklyn if Merrill's from the Bronx?
I know
So
that threw me off too, bro. That
yeah,
threw me
it's
off
just
too.
weird. So I mean, I'm glad they call it that because it's not you don't have to keep Merrill there. You can replace him eventually. So I mean, I hate to say that, but
They
it
could have
really
called
doesn't
it.
really work.
They should have called it 718 and then covered both bases and they would have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh, J Bug, what's your thoughts on the Jalen Brunson?
Yeah,
Josh Hart?
them other two guys is guys hanging out, just because they can hang out. You know what I'm saying? That it's really, really. I mean, I don't even spend time really, really. If I plug into it, depending on what the first 5 minutes I'm in and watching it, or I'm out.
Yeah.
But the roommate with Hart and Brunson, I would like to see some of their travel ways to get to here to where they at. You know what I'm saying? Far as on the podcast show, I don't even really, let me know something about, what I'm saying, about yourselves a little bit more with your podcast is how you know what I'm saying, how you met, how you in college, what I'm saying, how you wind up here and all that, what I'm saying. Um, Basketball, we already know what they do with basketball, but I'm really looking to see what it's about. And I hope it's not going to be just, a short situation. Um, to me, I think they could have waited to the off season to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That way they could have been able to focus on more and more episodes, you know what I'm saying? Or start their episodes now and lining them up where they can just drop them in the off season, instead of doing it in the basketball season. But it is what it is. It's momentum. And
Mhm.
Knicks is hot. Brunson's on fire. He's taking one of his men with him, and looking forward to it, I'm gonna be tuned in, checking it out.
Two questions for both of you. How long do you think it's gonna be? Like not the length of its like each episode. How long do you think it's gonna be? And then my next question is, who should be their first guest? Let's say it is guest based, or they bring guests on. Who should be their first guest? I have an answer, but I want to hear you guys first.
Oh,
What do you think, Bud?
they first guest should be Julius. That's just to go away from getting the Nova thing.
Yeah.
The, the, the Devo and Ryan and all that. We know sooner or later they go, but I don't want to see that off top. Give me something, with Julius, where maybe, he can tell you how you feeling about the season or whatever, and maybe go to Mitch the next one. I'd rather deal with the guys who not playing right now. That's what I would like to see because we already know what they are. They are the Nova Cats, so we already know what they can do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Whatever they do, man, I'm tuned in with it, man.
Yeah, me too. I kind of want to get away from that Nova stuff because we already know about that. So I kind of want to see what they. I want to see Tom Thibodeau, see him being interviewed.
Yeah.
Because you're not for nothing. Tom Thibodeau's getting a lot of flack. This guy Rasheed Wallace has something to say about him. What's even Jeff Teague has something to say about him. And what's the other guy used to play for the Knicks? Anyway, there's a bunch of guys with podcasts. They all got something bad to say about Tom Thibodeau. So I would love to see them interview him just so he can not really to respond to those things, but just to see Tom Thibodeau's personality. Because it seems like he doesn't have one.
Hey, being that you said Tom, man, can I go outside the subject and just go on one of my rants real quick, or do I need to wait?
Oh, let me just shout out Karen, who said Julius Randle. Trav B said Tibbs as well. Dante Randall. I was actually gonna keep it Nova, and I was gonna say Mikal Bridges, just so they control him and be like, dude, like I know you want to be over here. You know what I mean? And I thought it could be funny
That's
if
temperate. That's temperate. That's temperate. That's temperate. We gonna bust our head open with that.
And I thought it'd be funny the fact that they doing it. They're not doing it with Dante. Like they left him out. So I thought that was hilarious. Now go ahead, go on your Tibbs rant.
Yeah, man. You know, when you spoke of Tommy T, you know what I'm saying? I've been calling him Tommy T, you know, is when you spoke of him, man, I'm really pissed off right now. I'm pissed off at the commissioner. I'm pissed off at the league right now, you know, because you allowed Doc Rivers to come in here and put in no work and you automatically put him into the All-Star game. When you could have just slid that to my man, Tom. If you didn't want to give it to him, you could have gave it, you know what I'm saying, the guy at Boston. But this guy, Doc Rivers, does not deserve to be the coach of the All-Star team, no whatsoever. You know, when Tom he's up for another candidate being coach of the year. He just came off Eastern Conference coach of the year. What do you mean? And he got the hottest point guard. He got the hottest guard in the league, and we one of the hottest team, if not the hottest team. We one of the three hottest teams. The three hottest teams is the Knicks, the Cavaliers, and the Clippers. And two of them are over here in the East. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I think maybe I look at the standings, and I think the Cleveland might have took over because of the loss, and they won last night. But Tommy T deserves to be that all-star coach. If you don't want to give it to him, you could have gave it to what's his name, Bickerstaff over there in Cleveland. If not, the coach for Boston. But there's no way in the world this guy comes off the sideline of the bench and calling ABC games, ESPN games, and walks straight in. Don't even coach the first two games and watches the first two games, and then comes in and you make him the Eastern Conference all-star coach. I'm pissed at that.
And they 1-4, right? Under Doc.
Man, I don't know what they are, but he does not deserve to be in that and be subbing for nobody.
I agree 100%. I don't think he should have been able to get the job being the consultant for the man. You know what I mean? Because to me that is what's the word that I'm trying to think of? I can't think of the word, but he could have been feeding him bad information.
Yeah, conflict of interest there.
Yeah, conflict of interest. You know what I mean? And
you fired a guy, so you telling me that y'all just didn't like the guy, but he was already in position to be an all-star coach. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, because that's what Doc got, the all-star coach. So he would have already been the all-star coach this year, but y'all don't like the guy, so you got rid of him. It's a lot of fuzzy-wuzzy over there, man, going over there in Milwaukee. That's why we're going to run through him this year. Use this as motivation, y'all. Tommy T should have been an Eastern Conference All-Star coach this year.
Yeah, to add to that too, they don't want to give certain guys accolades because they didn't play a certain amount of games, but then the coach comes in right off the street and he's automatically the coach of the. Yeah, that's another thing there. You know, I hate Doc Rivers, by the way, man. You know, I never liked him as a player either. When he's a Nick point guard, he used to drive me crazy watching him bring the ball up the court.
Yeah, I ain't going for. I ain't like him or Hubert Davis, but I preferred Hubert Davis.
Yeah,
Hubert Davis. Like I ain't really like neither one of them, but I preferred Hubert Davis. Parrish Duggan said Ryan A. He's a Knick player. That should tell you Brunson is the boss. If that don't tell you Brunson's the boss, God help you. Yeah, I just seen a stat put up that he's the only player to have 0 points in 20 consecutive games. I mean, 0 points in 20 consecutive games. First time in NBA history. Hey,
he's not that bad of a player though. He one of those championships. He was one of the star players there. I think the first one that they won, he was one of the top players. I'll say he wasn't trash. You know, he went to the Bulls. He might be a little bit too old. You know, no athleticism at all. So, you know, it is what it is with that.
And he does have a role on the team. He points out the 3 seconds, and he points And he points out the 10 seconds at the free throw line and the 5 seconds on the inbound. So he, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna give y'all breaking news, and
Uh-oh.
you can mark my word with this right here. It's not going to be long before he's going to be assistant coach for the New York Knicks. It's not going to be long. And Ryan is one of them guys that can become assistant coach and lead to become a head coach. It's just his IQ and his intelligence up here is way up here on a different level than far as just playing basketball. He played basketball because he played basketball, come from Villanova, that he made it to the league. But far as his knowledge and his representation of the game, what he knows and how he keep some guys up on, on other guys' stats, who's coming in, what's going on with them. He does all that. So all them laptop dudes that they got over there that really don't be knowing nothing about basketball, I look for him to take one of them guys on position. Because our bench need to be strengthened a little bit with assistant coaches. Like when Tom was brought here, they brought Tom here. When they brought Tom here, they brought they brought Woody here just in case it didn't work out, and they also brought what's the other guy named the other guy that went to play went to coach the other college.
What's his name? Kenny, somebody.
That's right. That's Kenny. You right on. They brought them two over here, but most of the time when a coach come in, they bring a coach and they bring in their own staff. Tom didn't bring his own staff.
Right.
His staff was handpicked. We got a handpicked bench. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of guys that really don't, really don't.
Othello Harrington, man. I can't stand seeing Othello Harrington on the sideline, man. He was complete trash as an NBA basketball player, man.
Come on, man. It's 2 boxes of Hubble Bubble gum every month. That's just order. It comes straight to the crib. We got
all I'm gonna say is if he gonna be a coach, make him a coach right now and give up the roster spot.
Yeah,
because that's valuable. That's gonna be a time. You know what I mean? Can't give it. That's gonna be a time because ain't nobody else gonna get him. That's how you came right back so quick. Nobody don't want him.
Shout out to Ryan.
Hey, remember?
Shout out to Jarrell. He said bums make great coaches.
That's true. But what you can't do, you coach. So that's what they say. But I was gonna say, remember that dude that Julia that was on the bench showing with the laptop showing Julius stuff, man. Julius, man, get the fuck out of with that damn laptop, man. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, So I mean that kind of makes me laugh. Like the head coaches, coaches. It's hard to be a coach, not for nothing, man. A lot of times, if guys do handpick their guys, it doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. It just, this is my guy, I'm gonna bring him up, type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I've had my share of coaches. They trying to tell you something, man. It's like, man, man. It's like stop, like whatever you're telling me, I don't want to hear it, because it is like they're not watching the game. They're watching something else or whatever, So it's not an easy thing coaching people.
No, that's for sure, man. Yeah. Any last words? Anything's coming up? Anything you want to promote before we get out of here?
Go give up them 5 picks and go across the borough and go get them. Go get them. 5 picks and Grimes. Go get them. 5 picks.
I ain't mad at it.
Go get them.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. You could pluck quite a few people off that Nets roster, man. I was mentioning that in one of my last podcasts. There's at least like 5 guys on that roster that could instantly make the Knicks better.
Would you take Cam?
Cam Thomas?
Would you take Cam coming off our bench?
Cam next to Deuce in the second unit? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, he filling up the buckets.
Yeah, yo, Lonnie, that dude, Lonnie, what's his name? Lonnie
Walker?
Yeah, Lonnie Walker. He's been playing good too. He got great percentages all across the board also.
Yeah, the Lakers chatting when I thought we was doing the losers lounge, they was like, I would have preferred Lonnie Walker over, and they named like 3 players. Like we should have kept Lonnie instead of.
He's gonna get paid, man, because he's a free agent after this year.
I mean, I don't know though. That's the thing. Sometimes they look at good stats on bad teams. Not saying the Nets are horrible, but they definitely underachieving.
Yeah. That's a whole nother story, man. That coach that they got over there, what's his name? Jacques Vaughn. He's a moron. That dude said, "Oh, the team's not that good, and I'm not that good either." I said, "Then why you even show up?" That's what Boogie said. Boogie said, "Yo, man, if you got an opportunity," so I agree with that with the Brunson thing. Like if Brunson has an opportunity to do certain things at the All-Star game, let him do it, man. And you never know when you're going to be there again. I get that. That's a great point. So Jacques Vaughn is a head coach of the NBA. Do you know how many people in the world would love to be the head coach of an NBA team? And you go, I'm not that good, and my team is not that good either. We're not really like, man, I, you know, I would have fired him on the spot. He would have never coached another game for me after.
Well, yeah, go get Adrian Griffin. You know what I mean? The man who was fired, who shouldn't be. And you know what I mean? Like, how you gonna hire a rookie coach and then fire him when he's 30-13? Talk about you know what I mean? He lost the locker room. Like, you put him in that position.
Right.
With all that pressure, you need to ride that out. But and then give Doc the job. The guy who blows every 3-1 lead he ever had.
Yeah, Doc Rivers is so overrated, man. That one chip that he had with Boston that was given to him, basically. I don't know.
No doubt. J Boog, you want to promote anything? Anything you got going on?
Yeah, I got a lot of things going on, man. I be all over the place, man. I'm gonna ask y'all this question, man, because I just want to know, man. Have the Liberty basketball girls separated themselves from coming to New York Knicks games and only go to the Brooklyn Nets game because they play over there in that arena? I'm just one of that because I do see them at their games, but they're called the New York Liberty. And I'm just wondering why y'all haven't come over here and watched none of these games.
They mad because James Dolan sold them. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it really is. You know what I mean? Like,
it won't none of them girls though.
Yeah, I know, but it's like we over here now. You know what I mean? Like this.
Okay.
Now the real question is, should they be the Brooklyn Liberty?
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're gonna take ownership of them, because I mean, I think they do own them though. The Nets, don't the Nets own the Liberty?
They do now, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, if that's the case, then they should name them Brooklyn, but then there won't be no New York team, So
then that puts pressure for the league when it's expansion time. What better place to expand than right back in New York? You know what I mean? Like when it becomes expansion time, right? Right now they not making the money to expand.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's why Dolan sold the team because it was a liability for him. But also too, he was having those guys. He was having them flying in the Knicks plane, and then he got in big trouble over that. So he said, you know what? It's not
and that's part of the thing though. Like when they were here, they loved the treatment. You know what I mean? Because he takes care of his employees. I'm sure it's not the same dynamic. You know what I mean? Over there, but I'm sure they still do their best. You know what I mean? I'm sure they got, or maybe that's part of the stipulations. You know what I mean? Like, yo, for promotion purposes, we'll pay you XYZ. You know what I mean? An extra paycheck or whatever it is. Come sit at these net games. You know what I mean? Like, it could be all that. Stay away from those games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and if you could stir up some controversy between male and female basketball, just to, you know what I mean, light a fire, do that too. Say we the best basketball team in New York. You know what I mean? Because Shorty say that.
They can say anything they want, man. But you see, Knicks 100, they say ain't nobody watching that sloppy stuff, man. So people have their already preconceived, stuff about the women's game. I think they have a good style of game. It's different. It's a different style of basketball, but they play tough. They play tougher than the NBA. I know that. So it's an entertaining style of basketball, So much props to them.
My bad, y'all. I was just on watching the next game, rooting for them. I was rooting for them to beat somebody that we've in tug of war with in the standings. You know what I'm saying? And I seen them girls back there clapping and cheering. I'm like, why y'all don't come to the Knicks game? You know what I'm saying? We over here. I mean, liberty is the liberty.
Or maybe that's why they was clapping too. They was slowly rooting for the Nets to beat the team that you know what I mean that we competing with in the standings. But I appreciate you fellas, man. This was a definitely another great show. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Y'all popped in today. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate you guys. Appreciate the super chats, the love, support. MBK fam. I'm gonna go grab me something to eat quick and then jump right on the Queen's Court. So I'll see y'all over there. I'm sure y'all all be there. Eru, always a pleasure. J Boogie, always a pleasure. And yeah, till next time, man.
It's a pleasure when Josh is not on the panel. I just want to blow him up one time. And that dude is always arguing about something. But anyway,
you know what? I appreciate Josh, but it'd be a pleasure to the chat when you know what I mean. Like when I had some comments about that. So yeah, maybe I just gotta separate you two guys. You know,
I don't know. I'm not gonna let him get away with stuff, man. He was saying stuff, so I can't let him get away with it. Man. That's my guy.
Josh is a fan favorite. I don't been to games with him down here in Carolina, and they be like, "Hey, you Uncle Fulio. Hey, Fulio, you the controversy guy." But he is known. He is known. You know what I'm saying, and a good way of being known. So shout out to Fulio, man. Yeah, shout out to Fulio. And shout out to both of y'all guys too, man. Always rocking and doing what y'all doing, keeping us up to par, keeping us up to date, you know what I'm saying, with what's going on. Tone, I'm glad to see you holding it down. You're really punching that clock in. You got that podcast jumping. And Eru, you always doing what you're doing. You calling games, you know what I'm saying, everything, man. Appreciate y'all guys, man. Appreciate y'all guys in the New York Knicks community, a life. Forget just podcast and a life. Y'all get it done.
Nah, same to you, man. You're definitely the soundtrack of the Knicks fans, man. Definitely.
And the motivational speaker, like I always say. You know what I mean? Like you definitely bring my energy up every time I'm around you or I get a call from you. You know what I mean? And you seem to call always at the right time where I need a little boost. So I appreciate that for sure. And shout out to Josh, the only guy that could text me at 3 a.m. for 40 minutes and then end up being a phone call for another hour.
I'm his biggest fan, man. I remember when he first came through on MBK, so I'm definitely a big fan of Josh.
No doubt. We out. See y'all on the Queen's Court. Sam, see you. Peace.